Hey, how's it going, everyone? Shuirozen here. Welcome back to day 39 of me playing one day of Minecraft every day. Yesterday, did some more work on the dock, and someone, I don't remember the name, I'm so sorry, the username, but somebody said you can place the trapdoors on top of each other by crouching. I knew I wasn't crazy, dude. Oh my gosh. I was going insane. I was like, how is this not lining up right, you know? Or not. Wait. Okay. Wait, it's doing it again. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm getting text messages. Hold on. Wait. I just did it. Why is it doing this? No. Do it again. What? Okay. It said if you crouch. I crouch. This one? Nope. Okay. Yeah, I guess we're gonna skip it. Man, I was so excited. I did it. I did it right here. What? Okay. I accept defeat. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a great day. I'm having a fantastic day, honestly. It's been good. It's been really good. Been a lot better. The week is definitely turning around. We are on the up and up, which is good because the last few days I've been talking about just dealing with, you know, kind of quote-unquote failures. I think you ever failed, really, you know, and being too hard on yourself, which is definitely something I've been experiencing the last few days. And to conclude this kind of arc of where my mind has been the last week now, honestly, the last 7 days, it's been tough. It's been super tough. Just being so hard on myself, it's been really mentally draining. It got me thinking how, out of all the success I've had in life, at 24 years old, most of it came from failure, right? Quote unquote my success, right? You could look at you know, even like YouTube. Like, I'm just a dude with 800 subscribers on the internet out of 8.3 billion people, 7.3 billion people, whatever it is, right? 1% of the whole population in the world makes YouTube videos. Less than 1%, I believe, is the actual statistic, right? So what do I know, right? My opinion is the least influential fact, the least important thing in the world right now, you know, because that's what it is. That's what an opinion is. I'm gonna get some more campfires maybe and some more trapdoors and keep building up the dock, but I wanted to stop around here just so I can kind of get a ship, a little sailing boat somewhere in here maybe. I don't know if we're gonna be able to dabble in that today, but you know, when it comes down to it, do you think that, you know, you look at someone that was successful in your eyes, like a CEO, like shucks, man, I don't know. The first guy that pops in my head is the dude, I don't know his name, but the guy that made the Scrub Daddy sponge, you know, that thing. I recently saw a video of him talking about how his invention, the Scrub Daddy, came to be. And for those of you who don't know, I don't know what countries may or may not have it, but here in the US, it's a little smiling sponge that's a little bit more coarse than like your traditional kind of house sponge, right? You know how a sponge like has like the soft spongy side, and there's the other side that when you flip it, it's kind of more abrasive. But the Scrub Daddy is just all abrasive. It's a circle. It's got like ridges all along the circle, the edge, and then it's got a little smiley face in the center, you know, and it's used for cleaning, you know, your silverware and stuff. Well, the guy, I think, was a mechanic, he said, or he was like, I need something that it would be nice to have something that would help me clean out from under my fingernails at the end of the day when I'm done working. So he had like this old like box of materials, and in it he had something that was like kind of like this sponge material, and used it, and the ridges along the scrub daddy was used for cleaning out from underneath his dirty fingernails when it was time to go in and eat dinner or whatever, right? So there was that, and nobody wanted that. There was no need, there was no demand for that, right? So then years later he's thinking about it, and you know, where's that thing that he made? You know, what was it for, right? For cleaning the dirt out underneath his fingernails. We thought, if I cut some holes in it, then I can stick my fingers in it and clean my fingers. And then, oh wait, if I hold it like that, stick my fingers in the little eye holes, and then cut a smiley face for the mouth, dude, I can do the dishes with it, right? Clean the spoons, both sides of the spoon at the same time, the knife, right? It's easy. Boom, there was your demand, right? But it sat in this box, and he didn't use it for years and years. And this is a very, very Cliff Note version of this story, right? But it's just true. It's true, and I think about that. He was on Shark Tank. I don't think he ended up selling his idea or whatever. Like, he's been very successful with it, obviously, right? But, man, it took him how many years before that idea blew up? Could have been a decade after it had been sitting before he finally realized the purpose and a demand, a want, a need, a household need for it, right? And man, like, that just shows you gotta just not give up. And I've been talking a lot about, you know, maybe you should start making YouTube videos. Maybe you should start doing some content creation, right? Follow your passion, right? Do what makes you happy and share it. You know, it's a good experience. And I look back and I was like, okay, like I've never had a viral video. Not that that's my goal or anything, right? But so statistically, do I know what I'm talking about? No, I don't. By no means. Again, like I said, I'm just some dude I've been making videos almost 2 full years now, and I've learned a couple things, and it was all through the fact of just doing, right? And I look back at like the moments where, quote unquote, I probably like struggled the most. I failed, felt like I failed the most. Looking back in like school and in high school and stuff, and those failures, the parts of those memories that I'm like, I kind of wince looking back on, you know, because I'm like, man, like I kind of sucked, you know. I don't like remembering that time, you know. But I'm like, nope. The biggest growth, the most I learned, my most amount of success came from those times. And for those of you who don't know, I like went to music school and started doing that path, and it's intense, man. I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't sound like it. Okay, could do it again. No, we'll do a double stacked one right there, because why not? Because I can't get it to double stack. I can't do 2 trapdoors where I want it to. You know, but the best part about going to music school was just like teaching me like and helping me refine like my work ethic, you know, like that was cool. That maybe, but you know, looking back when I would struggle with something, a certain subject, trying to maybe learn a new material or understand something, or like practice mastering a new concept, right? I would sit there for hours and hours just doing it over and over and over, like repetition. And I was in a meeting this past week, and it was like a coaching meeting for me to, you know, develop and learn and work on some things, in terms of like leadership things, right? And they're like, you know, it's just like time. The more you have these, you know, the better you get at it. And I've like interrupted, and I was like, yeah, practice makes permanent. And they're like, what'd you say? No, it's perfect, dude. Like, what are you talking about? Like, they were like, everybody that was in the meeting was like, what is he saying right now? What is this dude saying? Practice makes what? It's perfect. I was like, no, it's permanent. You know, I think back to doing sports. Like, I grew up playing like mainly soccer, and then I switched to like track, I did baseball, basketball, all the things, right? Like American soccer, or like football, I guess. I don't know, whatever. Right. and practice makes permanent. You're gonna practice the way you want to behave, the way you want to do things. So if I'm like, you know, treating a practice or not taking something as serious as I should, when it comes time for the moment for me to take something serious, I'm not, because I practiced it that way. It's built up in my mind that, yeah, this is not time to get serious, you know. And I kind of explained that in the meeting, and they're like, huh, I never thought about it that way. I'm like, we all learned something new today, huh? You know, it was cool. I enjoyed sharing that perspective, and I wasn't cocky or anything like that. I was like, no, that's just the way I think about it, you know. So I was like, I'm gonna take this serious, because when I need to take this serious in the moment, boom, I practiced it exactly how I need this to play out, you know. See, I'm looking for some barrels. I think you make it like this. No, I did it backwards. It's this one, right? Nice. Let's just click the bed real quick. Shooting star. Okay, dark oak. I think this is a good, pretty lengthy pier, I guess, you know. Go like here. Yeah, that's right. And then I'll make it kind of look uneven, like, you know, like the tide kind of sometimes splashed up a little bit higher on the side for whatever reason. But I've been getting a lot of questions just asking about, like, YouTube, like my YouTube journey and stuff like that. And again, like I said, it's nothing special, man. It really isn't. Is this facing the right way? Yeah. Oh, got a visitor. I know it's kind of dark right now. I'm sorry. These guys have so much health, I feel like. That's crazy. Let's go ahead and I'll make a lantern. I want to put it up on here, and I think that'll make the dock look a lot more complete, which will make me feel better. But no, I get it, man. Like, my whole life, I've never been like a confident person. You know, I've always struggled with like self-image and like self-esteem and like knowing my own worth, right? And it is something you gotta practice at the end of the day, and it's definitely not easy being able to like look yourself in the mirror. How do you make it? No, oh no, you need this. You need one of these. You need one of these. There we go. Yeah, for a training exercise, dude, like, my boss used to make me sit down at every meeting with him and tell him 3 things that I love about myself. This was last April. And, oh, that looks so good. Should I put, oh, let's do, let's go like this. If I go... like this? I think, yeah. Yeah, sure. We'll keep it like that. It kind of gives a little bit more detail. This is looking good. This just made it like instantly like super cozy. I like it. I think it looks great. And then I'm gonna have to look at some reference pictures. I think we'll put like, you know, the fishing boat like right here. Nah, that's a little shallow, like right here. And we'll start working on that. You know, probably need like a bunch of wood. For it, but make another axe. For some reason, I feel like I've used up. There they are. I was like, there's no way I haven't used all my sticks. But in my experience, so many people are too afraid to try something new, take a chance on something, because they're afraid of immediately failing. And the way I found myself to counteract that feeling is, I'm not going to know if I'm going to succeed, or I'm not going to be able to learn anything if I don't try, right? And it's like, oh, you failed. I'm like, no, man, I just learned a whole lot. You know, look at anyone that's accomplished anything in the history of ever, in the history of time, right? Do you think anybody got it right on the first try? No, I promise you they didn't. And I think that is also, you know, just reassuring. Like I said, think about the Scrub Daddy dude. I'm going to look his name up right now because I don't want to sound like I'm crazy. Aaron Krause, founder and CEO of Scrub Daddy, was on Shark Tank in 2012. Yeah. After sitting in a box labeled scrap for years, Krause discovered its cleaning potential while cleaning lawn furniture in 2011. And he has sold over 250 million units and expanded into a full range of cleaning products. I use these at work, and I have them at my house. You know, like I think he's cool. I think he's awesome. You know, but there you go, man. Look at you know, look at like just look at anything. You know, there's the firefly bushes I gotta grab, but I need some more wood. Probably some dark oak. Get some more. Trees looking cool. Garden's looking good. Still need to come up with a name for this guy. Hey, buddy. I don't have a name for him. Puppy Shiro. Shiro puppy. But yeah, I think this past week has really just expanded my mind and a little bit of my confidence, and just reminding myself that, like, as much as I feel like a failure, as much as I feel like I let those people down around me, if I look at the reality, that's not true. And if you're willing to try to get out of your own head and take that chance and put yourself out there and embrace failure, or, you know, learn from it, you are doing better than most people out there. I promise you. I remember, just like going to college, you know, like that was terrifying, and being around so many new people that are so much smarter than me and so much more talented than me and have so much more potential than I do. You know, I was like, I feel like I'm bound to fail from the beginning before I even start. So why bother, you know? Then you miss out on these opportunities later down the road. You know, it's been so cool. I've been playing with this local band. I've been invited to fill in, you know, play saxophone for them. And this, I talked about this. I think my last gig was a week ago, a little over a week ago now. And they said, you know, Shuirozen, there's not a lot of pros in town. Would you be okay if we kept calling you? Like, wow, these guys think I'm a pro. And I dropped out of music school. You know, I ended up going to business school, and I got my bachelor's degree in business management. You know. So I was like, I'm not a pro in anything, but here these guys think I'm great, you know, like that's so cool. You know, so it all works out in the end, you know, and you just gotta trust yourself and trust the process. And I remember, man, just being so hard on myself and so angry, so frustrated about being compared to everyone else, and looking back on them now, you know, some of them aren't even doing what I'm doing anymore, so why was it even worth being compared to in the first place? You know, I'm me. So be your own you. That's why people want to talk to you. That's why people want to see you do what you do. That's why you are here. There's only one of you, you know. Companies always like to say that you can easily be replaced. Can you? There's always someone. I always believe that there is someone that can do the job better. But as someone that can do X, Y, and Z as well better than me, like they might be able to do A, B, and C better than me, and on paper that's what you want. And I said that like about my job. I was like, yeah, anybody can do my job. A monkey can do it. You know, it doesn't take anything, any, you know, prior knowledge, anything really, right? But if you bring a monkey in off the street, is the team gonna love them as much as I do? Are they gonna support them as much as I do? And I know the answer is none of that. Wow, would you look at that? Perfect 20-minute timing. Wow, that's cool, dude. The lantern looks great here. I think that is sick. Thumbnail. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me here on day 39. I hope you learned something. Thank you for letting me get this off my chest, dude. This has been so healing for me and just helping me mentally, you know, get this out like a video diary. So I appreciate all the kind words, all the support. We just hit 830 subscribers, which is crazy, dude. That's like I think I've gained like almost 200 subscribers since doing this. And like I thought my channel was dead, you know, but I'm just doing this for me, and you guys are along for the ride and love it. So I love it. Thank you for being here, and I will see you tomorrow.